Hey, Hattie, hey, welcome back to All About the Disney Life. I am Danny B, the girl who is all about that Disney life. We move on to the next attraction for Animal Kingdom. It is Primeval Whirl, which was located at Dinoland, USA. So let's get to know about this former roller coaster. This was a steel wild mouse roller coaster at the park. The ride was a spinning roller coaster purchased from Revercon Industries. The ride was part of Chester and Hester's Dinorama, which is itself part of Dinoland USA. It was a roller coaster in the mild but wild thrills category. It had cars that spun in circles while traveling on tracks, permitting the ride experience to vary greatly each time it is ridden. The ride featured 13 cars, each seating up to 4 riders. It opened March 31st, 2002 and closed permanently on July 11th, 2020. Similar to Space Mountain at Magic Kingdom, this ride has actually 2 roller coasters facing opposite directions. Unlike Space Mountain, both tracks had an identical layout instead of a mirrored track. So let's move on to the history for this roller coaster. The original plan for Dinoland USA was to include a wooden roller coaster named the Excavator. Its concept would utilize minecart-style train cars and a ride through the old worksite, where in the backstory for the land, the very first bones were found in Diggs County. Warning signs would flank the entry as guests boarded what could be assumed was an attraction set up by the grad students that ran the nearby dig site. During the ride, guests would pass through dinosaur bones and around the centerpiece of this out-of-control wooden roller coaster, an old excavator that the college kids altered to look like a dinosaur, giving the attraction its name. The excavator would be canceled due to budget cuts after the failure of Euro Disney, which is now known as Disneyland Paris. Fortunately, officials revisited the idea of a mine train roller coaster for Expedition Everest, which would open in 2006. On September 29, 2000, Disney announced that they would be adding new attractions to their Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom parks. Magic Kingdom would be getting the Magic Carpets of Aladdin, that's based off the 1992 movie. Animal Kingdom would be receiving Chester and Hester's Dinorama. The new section would feature several carnival games and a snack trailer on an old asphalt parking lot across from a gas station and store. Plus, this area would include 2 new rides, which were Primeval Whirl and Triceratop Spin. Triceratop Spin would be similar to the Magic Carpets of Aladdin, while Primeval Whirls would be a dual-track spinning wild mouse roller coaster built by Revercon Industries. It was the first roller coaster to open at Animal Kingdom. On June 17, 2019, the ride was reduced to seasonal operation, and later in September, park officials stated that the attraction would only be operating on a seasonal basis. On July 16, 2020, officials confirmed that the attraction would not reopen after various speculation. After the announcement, the ride vehicles were removed from the track. In September of 2021, construction walls were installed in the surrounding area of the attraction. Demolition of the ride began that same month on September 22nd with the removal of track sections. The entrance sign was taken down a few days later, and by November, both tracks were completely demolished. So let's move on to the ride itself. The ride was themed to time travel to the meteor, which was believed to have caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. This gave the coaster a storyline very similar to that of another attraction, Dinosaur. Let's move on to the reception for the ride. The ride received mixed reviews from guests, as some praised the theming and dual-track experience, but others criticized it as not being up to Disney standards. Many guests only saw a cheap carnival with off-the-shelf rides and games sitting in a cracked asphalt parking lot. In reality, it was all carefully designed and constructed to be a loving tribute to the roadside attractions between the 1940s and 1960s before the interstate highway system rendered the old routes obsolete. And the shabby asphalt was actually carefully textured concrete. As I have mentioned, I will be bringing up incidences with these rides as they come up. I found 2 for this ride, and both of them had to do with Disney employees. So the first incident happened on November 29th, 2007. A Disney employee who was 63 years old died in a hospital after falling from the Primeval World ride platform and hitting her head. 4 months later, Disney announced it was adding sensors that would detect if a cast member entered into areas that are off limits and stop the movement of the ride vehicles in the immediate area. At least there's some safety features updated. The second incident happened on March 14th, 2011. A 52-year-old 34-year-old Disney employee died after suffering from head trauma while working on a dip on the ride the previous day. So my experience with the ride, I only read the ride one time because, as the facts have said, I only wrote it when I first went to Disney World in 2016, and then we went again in 2019, and the ride was not operating. It wasn't running at all. And I think that was around the time when Disney was just cutting it down to seasonal operations, because it wasn't really a popular ride and wasn't that busy. And then the third time when I went to Disney World on my honeymoon, that was 2021, the ride was already closed. And my husband and I, when we were walking through Dinoland USA, we saw the walls up and we knew that was the end of it. And I was really looking forward to riding that ride the 2 other times I went to Disney World, because that was a really great coaster for me. And I'm just disappointed that I only got to ride that coaster one time. So there you have it, all the facts to the former Primeval Whirl. If you like this video, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. And I hope you have a zippity-doo-dah day. Goodbye.